Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Zung Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of the group practice this evening, Medicine Tathagata of the Eastern Lapis Lazuli Requiem. Semu, Tanjung Kapso, Dubden City, Dubden Kama, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma instructors, Dhamma teaching assistants, temple directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good evening, everyone. How do you do?
Hola amigo, te quiero mucho. Sugoi, ichiba, kimochi, jumi, yabi, puring puring. Powerful.
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 Recently, there are many fires, forest fires in Europe, in Canada, North America, and America, many places. Forests. Therefore, please, during Homa, fire offering ceremony tomorrow, Homa is fire offering. Generally speaking, water can overcome fire, but fire can also overcome water. They mutually overcome each other. Amidst water, there's fire, and amidst fire, there's also water. So during Homa tomorrow, please prepare 3 blocks of ice and to use the ice so that we have no fire. This is a very special. We use ice water because the ice will melt in such a hot weather. So use ice water, not just regular water. During Homa tomorrow, 3 glasses of ice water. When we lit the Homa fire, they would be used to those 3 cups of ice water to extinguish the fire and hopefully those forest fire can be extinguished. That would be better.
到处都在森林大火。
Because there are forest fires everywhere in the state of Washington and Canada, wildfires everywhere. In Spain, where Reverend Lien Long is, wrote a letter to ask for the fire to be extinguished, and since we will be doing fire offering, that would be fire on top of fire, so we would use ice water, a cooling method, so that everything would be helped, that the forest fires, the wildfires will be extinguished. Reverend Lien Long in Madrid, Spain said there are from the houses of fellow disciples that they could see fire. And not only in Spain, in Washington State, many places in America also have forest fires. I think in California too. And also Oregon. So if you could perform the Homa to extinguish the fire, it would help them. We really hope that it would rain. That would be best. But there are some places that are flooded, so there are both floods and fires, so there are many natural disasters. So it should rain where there's fire and no rain in places where there's flood. I hope it will happen like that. Last night, in my dream, there was an old friend, not Buddhas or Bodhisattvas, but an old friend. So my sleep and dream last night was rather strange. Generally, I speak at around 2 a.m. until about 9 a.m. So I wake up a bit later. Generally, I speak really well every night, but not last night. For an hour, I would wake up every hour. I woke up every hour last night. There were so many noises at home. Noises in the walls, noises in the bonsais, in the bed, in the windows, in the sinks and faucets. And it's not strange to have noises under my bed. That happens every night. As soon as I walk by, they would greet me. 2 nights ago, when I walked by the bamboo bonsai, they shouted really loudly.
跟我叫一声，
And when I walk
只要接近床
by the door,
就会叫。
they also make the noise, also the bed.
昨天这个太多的故人来，
And last night, there were too many old friends that came by, and maybe I did not treat them too well,
超度的人当中有很多，
because I perform Bardo deliverance every night, 1,000 Dharma vessels Bardo deliverance. Some can get on board, some cannot.
供养。
When I perform Bardo deliverance, so I have to bring them home, make offerings to them.
但我从来不会说因为吵到我或怎么样子不好睡。那昨天是比较多。
And generally, they don't bother my sleep, but last night there were too many of this deceased people. So I woke up every 1 or 2 hours last night. So seated here on the Dharma throne, it's unavoidable. I was going to enter Samadhi, and I entered into Z's instead.
都快要进入四摩地，然后把它叫回来。
Twice I almost fell asleep, but then I was woken up and then enter into meditation.
我是对这个声音啊，对这些不会受影响，不受影响。
I am not affected by the noises or by these things. I'm used to it.
如果不是我带回去，他们是没办法进去。
If I don't bring them home, it would be impossible for them to enter, because there are so many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and then the Vajra deities and protectors. They would not be able to enter.
师母是看得见，
Sumu can see.
他这个目前这个状况，他是可以看得见。
In her situation now, she can see.
对，万佛所无鸡眼，要是进我面前，经常很多人在那里。
In front of the Golden Mother with innumerable hands and eyes, there are often many people.
树底下
She said that last night. And under the trees, by the windows, there are many people,
太多人，
many ghosts.
我家里经常都是有客
Yet my home is always full, often
客满，
filled with beings.
场子太小，客满不够。
Full house.
的，因为他
But it's okay,
都可以有人。
because they can stay inside the walls too.
你说这个墙壁
You know, the walls
密，怎么会人去？
are so solid. How could the humans go in there? But they can.
是的，
People.
墙壁里面有很多人，
There are many people inside the walls.
所以没什么奇怪，没什么。
So nothing strange.
这天底下没有什么稀奇的事情。
There is nothing strange in the world.
神众，
If it's not the Buddhas or Bodhisattvas, they are gods and ghosts.
有时候都是要想办法，这个
And sometimes I have to find ways. I have to get up and meditate,
念一会经，
chant a sutra,
他们一些供养，
and to give them some offerings, and then it would be fine. Normally, that's the case.
你不要以为 为那些都是不好的。
Don't think that they're bad.
他们有些会唱歌给你听，
Some sings for you. Really.
很多都会唱歌给你听的。
Many of them can sing for you.
他会唱那个催眠曲。
They sing lullaby to you.
你今天晚，对不起啊，今天晚上你
And sorry, we
一起唱。
too noisy and wake you up, so let's sing the lullaby.
我宝贝，窗外天已黑，小鸟会找去，太阳也要休息，到天亮出太有时。 到天亮出太阳，有时鸟语花香。他们还唱歌给你听呢。
They sing for you. Really.
我那天就是听到一条歌，
So the other night I heard the song.
那我自己学的歌，
The song I learned by myself.
我也跟着唱。
And they sang and I also sang.
春天许个愿，我也就是和你相遇。
In spring I made a vow that I'm willing to meet you in this life.
见你和你的
To see you and your grief, to see you and your beauty.
我睡了1个小时。
So we sang and then we slept for an hour. So they sang again and I said, oh no, please stop.
昨天是那个 Amber 的生日，
Yesterday was Amber's birthday and she sang a song.
还有什么歌可以唱？
Is there any other song that you can sing? Can you sing now?
Akarin sarum, akarin kurum ai, ahin kurum satin kara, ahin kara sahin kurum. Master-Ling Taram Hukum Taram Paradim Maram Akim Hentaradim Tarum Hutum Sarangkadim. 谢谢师尊加持。
Thank you, Grandmaster, for your blessing.
天歌，
So that's a heavenly song using the heavenly language.
那个巨龙在吗？
Is Lilia here?
巨龙有没有来？
Is she here? She's not here. She said she was going to sing last night too, but she's not here. So the affinity is not. I just do it spontaneously. Last night Lian Yan also sang, so tonight let's Lian Xi sing. Lian Xi.
他刚刚唱的说，请师尊永固我的天灵盖。他说还要请师尊护持我，保佑着我，希望师尊能够带着我回去。还有希望师尊。
他们懂得天语，他都知道。
So she understands the divine language. So she is supporting me so that I can go back, and please never abandon us. Thank you, Grandmaster. Anybody else? Is Li Fei here tonight? Now it's your turn.
想你是你在天边，想你是你在眼前，想你是你在脑海，想你是你在心田。那吉卡里卡玛那吉达，阿尼卡那古吉努哈尼卡穆纳，哈尼古吉萨亚达嘎亚那，哈尼卡那玛那吉萨穆那伊那。想你是你在天边，想你是你在心田，想你是你在脑海，想你是就在眼前。谢谢师尊。
把传奇跟天语合起来唱。
So she mixed the Chinese song
是吗？那是
and the celestial music.
合起来。人家有莲花筒，
It's called like the song. I think it's called the legend.
又有空心，
They are Padma Kumaras, they are Dakinis.
所以一个晚上就是被这些吵。
So they all bothered me all night.
有莲花同志，有空心母，
Padma Kumaras, Dakinis,
有人间的故人，
some from the human world, some from the deceased past, sang all night.
弄了半天我才知道，哦，
After a long while, I just knew that Green Tara mantra has many, there are many Green Tara mantras.
打啦打啦嘛，
In the past, I chanted
打啦嘟啦说哈，有念嗡打嘞嘟打嘞嘟嘞说哈，居然也有念打根嘟打根嘟根打。
It turned out that you can chant it that way too.
打根，我说那打根，
I said, what? Taken? Taken to
怎么
taken
搞
to.
的到底是哪个对？
So, which one is right? What's going on? They're all okay. They're all right.
奇怪了，
So strange.
好像整个藏区里面
Like in the whole Tibet area,
有拉萨
like say in Lhasa,
这个
there's Lhasa dialect, and there's
从后上讲的
Kham dialect, and then there's U dialect. They all have different pronunciation.
木雅的语，阿里讲的语是有阿里的语，
And in Ali areas and Muya areas, they all have their own dialects.
我听他们在念这个利度母的咒，我发觉说，哎，怎么还有打根？
So when I heard them chant Green Tara mantra, and I thought, oh,
怎么会有这种语？
tukan, tukan.
不是打啦，嘟打啦嘟啦，打嘞。
Isn't it supposed to be Dala, Dudala, or Dure, Dudare? Now it's Takan, Dutakan.
就觉得奇怪，
So I found that strange.
所以问那个懂得很多语言的这个言语上师啊，
So I asked Master Lien Yi, who understands many languages,
语言是这样，他说有啊，还有打鼓都打鼓的，
and he said, yeah, and there's also Taku to Taku.
还可以念成打鼓都打鼓，为什么？
So you can also pronounce it that way.
你说福建啊，中国的福建好，
Say Fujian,
就已经很多种属于
just in the Fujian province, there's so many dialects. And then for the whole China,
跟北京讲的话，
so the language spoken in Sichuan
福建讲的话
compared to Beijing and Fujian,
很多种，因为那时候都是
just the Minnan,
一个地区讲的话都通通都不一样。
and because separated by mountains, each area
宁波
is different. Just in the Shanghai area, Ningbo,
一天到晚阿拉阿拉的，是上海话，
always say Allah, Allah.
阿拉的是上海话。
Is that Shanghainese? Yeah.
语言很多的，所以现在不奇怪了，现在就听到好多的语言，不同的
So now
不同的语言，
it's nothing strange hearing all the different pronunciation. That's why there are different mantras too. There's nothing strange about that. a different pronunciation of the
在
mantras.
唱的那一条，
Let that song that I sing,
他们本身的音，那是欧洲有一个国家的音，
that pronunciation belongs to a country in Europe,
你们
the
会
one I often sing. Now you know how to sing it, right?
谁会唱？我已经唱那么多遍了。我每次唱，你们就跟着我唱。现在大家都不唱。
You can sing it, following me, and now you don't know how to sing it.
我是用我的语言唱的。
So I use my language to sing it.
就是这样。所以昨天晚上吵得要命。
So it's so noisy last night singing together with them.
不过人生也是这样子。我跟你讲，在天
But
上
a human life is like this.
跟人间是不一样。
Heavens are different than in the human world.
是非常好听。
The heavenly songs are extremely beautiful,
那个转音
and
非常的美。
the inflection of the melody is extremely beautiful.
听了以后，
After listening to it,
你的感觉不一样。
you would feel differently.
人间的语言听了，当然那些歌星所唱出来的，
Of course,
真的是很好听。
the songs in the world that's sung by those singers are very beautiful. Some songs are very beautiful,
让你全身放松。
and you would be totally relaxed upon listening it.
在天上唱的歌，你没有办法形容。
But it's impossible to describe the songs sung in heavens. When you hear such a song,
你就会变成神仙。
you would become a sage.
它就是这个，所以你在天上不会堕落的原因呢，不会掉下来。
So that's why
你在天上，
you cannot fall down in heavens. You will not have downfalls to the lower realms. And you can stay a long time in heavens because of those music and sound that would hold you up,
没有不好的念头，
that can change your heart and mind, so you have no unwholesome thoughts whatsoever, and you would feel very joyous, joyful, and happy.
我们讲的就是讲一种至善的境界里面。
We can say it's a realm of utmost virtues, of utmost wholesomeness and goodness.
天上最微妙，
Just upon hearing
听
it,
到那首歌以后，
that's the most marvelous part of the heavens. Whenever you hear such a song, you would become all good and wholesome. You don't have any bad thoughts whatsoever.
所以像大梵
That's why you can stay in heavens for a long time, forever.
他们为什么
Like Vishnu, Mahabrahma, Shiva can become the heavenly gods for a very long time
天上有那些东西？
because they have those in heavens.
你不容易产生不好的念头，变成至善。
So you don't, it's very difficult to generate unwholesome thoughts. So you become utmost
人间不一样，人间因为有
good,
所以它会流
but the human world is different because there are many bad thoughts. That's why people are bound by the rebirth cycle.
人间呢，因为有不好的念头互相传染，
And in the human world, the unwholesome or bad thoughts would affect each other, and that's why they would create bad actions,
在电视上看到受感染，
like things that you
在
watch,
新闻上看到受感染。
that you influence and
第一个
affected by that,
界的伤，通通都出来。
like killing, which is the first precept in Buddhism, would happen. That's due to the bad thoughts, and that those
他们不会动。
don't happen in the heavens.
到了西方，
That's why they do not fall.
不会再下。
If you go to Sukhavati, the western realm of utmost bliss, you will not come down again. Why? Because there's only utmost goodness there.
微妙音，那个
Because of that wonderful, marvelous sound that's impossible to describe.
那是微妙。
That's why in the sutra we just call it the graceful, harmonious sound or marvelous sound.
在西方极乐世界就是有微妙。我现在只是讲
So in Sukhavati, there's that marvelous sound. I'm only talking about one of them.
西方极乐世界，因为有微妙音，
So in Sukhavati, because there's that marvelous sound,
你要想要在六
when you get there,
不会想到六道，
you will not think about falling down to the six rebirth realms. It will not even occur to you.
微妙音。你听
Because over there, that's called the graceful and harmonious sound. When you hear that beautiful music, you would not have any bad thoughts whatsoever, so you will not fall into the 60th realms. And then, to progress one step further, you would practice and cultivate, and then you would reach a higher realm.
见啊，
So that's the reason.
善一般是
In the human world, it's half good, half bad.
恶的影响，
And then you're affected by the bad, and therefore you would fall down or you would be caught in the rebirth realm.
所以为什么那个大梵天
That's why Mahabrahma Deva,
这个他可以在地球
he can
外空100次，
he can live 100 times the creation to the annihilation of the earth,
这么长，
and even longer than that. His lifespan is very long.
渺小。
So just imagine how minuscule humans are. 100 times of the creation, the period of creation through annihilation of the earth.
为什么会这样？
See how long that is?
很大的智商，
And why is that? Because it's only utmost goodness there.
天境天更高，
Utmost goodness.
大梵天已经
And the heaven of the Vishnu is even higher. The Mahabrahma heaven is already high.
就是佛菩萨。
And above the heavens of Vishnu are the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas
所以要
realms.
叫他们到娑婆世界来六道，
So
几乎不可。
it's almost impossible to ask them to come back down to the six rebirth realms.
那在娑婆世界偶尔会出现
And
来救度众生，
occasionally there would be a few appearing in the Saha world to deliver sentient beings. Like Jesus, like Sakyamuni Buddha,
像老子
like Lao Tzu. Not many,
这样子。
not many. That's how it is.
我是 跟大家稍微讲一下为什么他们在
So I would like to let you know a little bit. When they're in heavens, they're in heavens.
人间也有少数，
There are also a few, very few, in the human worlds as well. The heaven of Vishnu is Super Krishna, the heaven of universal purity.
你问我答啊，
Now Q&A.
没事，都已经讲到10点，
Oh, it's 10 already. Oh,
讲快一点。
okay, let me speed up. Question from Taiwan, Lotus Xiaoliang.
弟子莲花小庙，
Grandmaster,
请问
your disciple Lotus Xiaoliang would like to ask Grandmaster,
空部与大
the emptiness section of the Yamantaka Dharma
法跟大吉祥法是息息相关吗？
and the great different ground Dharma and the great auspicious Dharma closely interrelated? What are the key points to focus on?
其实有很多的法，
Yamantaka has many dharmas. But most importantly,
需要跟这一尊
you need to
相应。
gain spiritual union with this deity.
什么法是从相应开始？
All the Dharma practice starts with the spiritual union, which means your heart and mind connects with their hearts and minds.
心跟心能够通，
When the heart connects with another heart,
跟大威德的心，
when your heart connects with Yamantaka's heart,
就是你所修的法，你的心念跟大威德心念是通的。
when you practice
这样子，
his Dharma,
所谓的
then your heart connects with his.
地法跟大喜祥法、吉祥法、
So the great different
善法，
ground practice and auspicious Dharma practice, those are good practices.
大义地法，虽然地不一样，阶级不一样，空部
The great different ground Dharma practice, the emptiness section is rather high.
地、水、火、风，
Earth, water, fire, wind, and space.
五轮塔里面空是最高的。
So in this five-wheel pagoda, the space is the highest because the space or emptiness embodies everything.
地是最基层，
The earth
水、
is the foundation, the lowest.
空是最高的，
Earth, water, fire, wind, and space.
空部就是最高。
So the emptiness or the space section is the highest,
是最低的，
and the earth is the lowest.
最低的也是有成就的。
But there's also attainment at the lowest level too. And the great auspicious Dharma is a good Dharma. They're all interrelated.
互相关系，
All Dharmas are interrelated.
所以我常常讲一法成就，
That's why I often say, if you have attainment in one Dharma, then you have attainment in all Dharmas.
菩萨都会跟你相应。
If you gain spiritual union with one Buddhas or Bodhisattva, then you have spiritual union with all the Buddhas and all Bodhisattvas.
看你到了哪一个阶段，
It just depends what level you have reached.
互相。
Those are stages. They are interrelated.
楞严经里面会打到解，会讲到解。
In the Surangama Sutra, it will talk
再
about
来就是要讲解跟解结，结跟解结。
the knots and how to untie the
这个
knots.
解开，同一条绳子打几个结，
On the rope, you tie a few knots.
那只是一个层次的问题。
It's just a matter of stages.
解掉一个结，所有的结都可以解。
So by untying one knot, you can untie all the other knots.
就讲，先打
It will be mentioned in the Surangama Sutra. First, you open self, and then you open the dharmas. When self is empty, then dharmas or everything is also empty. That's the highest, that's the emptiness section. And dharmas
那我是什么呢？
are the earth dharma. And self is the auspiciousness dharma. That's simply said. First, self is emptiness, and then dharmas are empty. Dharma is everything is empty, and then the realm of the dharma is empty. So the emptiness dharma, the earth dharma, and the auspicious dharma. Of course, they are interrelated. First, the auspicious dharma, and then the earth dharma, and then the emptiness section.
我只是这样跟他回答。
That's all I can reply.
今天的楞严经啊，
The Surangama Sutra today should be
是故你今知见
therefore
立知
when you establish another knowing upon your knowing and seeing,
见无见，
that is the very root of ignorance. But when knowing and seeing are free from another act of knowing, that is nirvana, undefiled, non-leaking, and truly pure. How could there be anything else within it? At that time, the world honored one, wishing to restate this meaning, spoke these verses.
六层。
The six dust.
我举一个简单的比喻了。
Let me give a simple analogy. Later on, Sakyamuni Buddha will also give analogies.
一条电线杆上面，
On an electric line, there are 6 birds. That's the 6 roots.
有6只鸟。你用枪啊，砰！
And then you shoot one of the birds.
还有几只鸟？
How many birds will there be left?
大家都知道的，这没有了，所有的鸟全部飞光了嘛。
So none, because all the birds would fly away.
那一条绳子是妙明真经，
So that electrical wire, the rope is the wondrous luminous true mind. And the 6 birds are the 6 roots.
就是眼耳鼻舌身意。
The 6 sense faculties, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. So, if you open one, all the others would leave because they are interrelated.
眼耳鼻舌身意互相关联，他们本
The eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind are interrelated. They have no self-nature.
到的就是真的。这个释迦牟尼佛讲，
You think what you see is real. Sakyamuni Buddha told Ananda, you think that what you see is real, what you hear is real, what you smell is real, what you taste is real,
身体触到就是真，
what you touch is real, you think.
念想到就是真，
What you think is real,
鼻子嗅到就是真，
what you smell is real.
就是跟那些鸟一样啊。
Just like those birds.
附在妙明正性，附在活性
You know,
上。
they're just perching on top of the wondrous luminous true mind, the Buddha nature.
你以为都是那些都是真的，
You think those are real.
那一只妙明正性就全部都出来了，
When you
显出来。
Buddha nature, wondrous and true mind would appear.
你永远看不到你那个
If you're always nodded, then you will not be able to see the power line, the original power line or the original Buddha nature. You cannot see.
这个释迦牟尼佛是这样子讲的。
So that's what Sakyamuni Buddha says.
知道了所知道的，
Today, what you think, what you know, that is called ignorance or lack of wisdom
妄想，
and delusional thoughts, Sakyamuni Buddha says.
你所知见无见，你所看到的，你所知道的，通通都没有了。
So what you know, what you see are all
涅槃无
disappear. When what you know and what you see have disappeared, that's nirvana, non-leaking and truly pure. That's Buddha nature, wondrous and true mind. That's the true purity.
东西的，
So
中哪有
how could there be anything else within it?
的比色生命？
How could there be any eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind?
这个时候啊，释迦牟尼
So at that time, Sakyamuni Buddha,
让更加清楚，
wishing to restate this meaning, spoke
是所谓他们因
these verses.
所就是，也就是重诵。重诵是什么意思？
It's like a
重新再给你复习一遍，
reiteration
说记。
and spoke this verse.
开始讲了，真性有为空啊，
True nature is empty of conditioned existence. What arises through causes and conditions is like an illusion.
缘妄
The unconditioned has neither arising nor ceasing. Its unreality is like flowers in the sky.
其实也是讲
To speak of delusion is to reveal all truth. So when you speak of the truth is false, and to speak of the falsity is also false.
中间
Yet both delusion and truth are themselves dual delusions. Even neither true nor untrue still cannot perceive what is seen.
整个记全部就是他讲过的，
So this whole verse is like all that he has spoken in the Surangama Sutra in the verse, in the form of a verse or
释迦
poem.
牟尼佛也会讲诗呢，而说偈言，欲从先此意而说偈言。
So Sakyamuni Buddha spoke the verse.
也就不把它翻译出来。
Generally,
前面讲
we don't translate the verse because it would be different.
讲的前面
It's like a recap of all the teachings from the beginning till this point in the form of a verse or
直
poem,
到一路涅槃。
all the way to the gateway to Nirvana.
讲色色
Talks about the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body and mind.
讲的很
And then the six does, which is the sight, sound, smell, touch,
这样子给大家听。
smell, and but in the form of a verse
就叫做颂，
to recap.
颂就是一个功，一个业，啊，一个功一个业，是颂，请嘛，颂。我们常常在
Or it can also be called a praise or gatha. 这个就是 That's the verse from the Universal Gate Sutra,
就是这样，
Universal Gate chapter,
唱偈就是这样。
Universal Gate verse.
法莲花经里
That's how we sing.
的偈，
It's from the Lotus Sutra, from the Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva chapter, the Universal Gate verse, and this is the same.
一个功一个业，
It's also called a gatha, or the verse, to recap the whole thing, but in the form of a verse. So that's their poetry, which is different from the Chinese poetry. There's a 5-character poem, 7-character poem, and then also the free form, and then also it has to rhyme. If you're a poet, you would know. So in the verse, sometimes you need to rhyme so that it would sing better. It can be sung better. And then Ananda and the entire assembly heard the Tathagata's unsurpassed compassionate instruction. The verses and the gathas were interwoven with refined brilliance, while the wondrous principles were clear and penetrating. Their minds and vision opened and brightened, and they marveled at what they had never experienced before. So at this time, Ananda and the entire assembly heard Sakyamuni Buddha compassionate instruction in the form of a verse or gatha. And they're very lucid and penetrating and wonderful. They're all encapsulated in it, and their minds and vision open and brighten. So, and it all become lucid and marvel at what they had never experienced before. This rarely happened. So you understand this piece? So the verse is just recapping something that has been talked about. So to use a very concise essence to recap. So upon hearing it, their hearts and minds are open and joyous, and they can clearly understand. In many sutras, at the end, they would recap. When you often chant the Universal Gate Sutra, which I just sang. That's what it means. What Sakyamuni Buddha said, I like to ask you again. That's what it means. Please re-summarize it. Re-summarize it. Now you know. The meaning. So I use it. I sang it. You know how to do that, right? Lord honored one. Most people would sing this way, right? That's the verse. There are many melodies. All honored one, endowed with wondrous marks, I now ask once again, why is this child of the Buddha named Avalokitesvara? So that's sung in different melodies. That's what we learn. And now I forget them all.
每人在那边唱，就打拍子啊，要打拍子的，那是敲鼓的。
And you have to make a rhythm and play the drum and the bell.
咚咚叮叮咚咚这样子敲，还要过七星板。
And the 7 beats.
还要过七星板。
The beats of 7 stars.
有一位大爷去医院看病，医生就问
An elderly man went to the hospital
哪里不舒服呢？
to go see the doctor. The doctor asked, what's wrong with you? And my legs are all bruised. Do I have like a strange illness?
做的
And then the doctor
B 超、心电图，
did ultrasound and ECG and did not find anything. And after a few experts,
掉了颜色。
it's because of the dye of his pants.
原来他穿的裤子掉的颜色是脚全部是青掉。
Yeah, because of the dye in his pants. 这小明跟店员讲， Xiaoming told the store salesman,
店员问，
I want to make a reservation.
小明回答，
What's your name? Family name Chai.
请问几位？
How many people?
小明回答，
Xiaoming said,
6.5位。
6.5.
店员就问了，
6.5
请问
people.
那小数点是代表小孩吗？
So
6.5位。
does that mean a child?
6.5位。 听得懂吗？
Do you understand? I don't.
一个活学研读班
Oh, it's 6 o'clock, 5 people.
就毕业了，一个活学研读班绝业，师傅要报告学习
A student just graduated and the teacher asked
蚊子叮他，
that
他
to share the experience.
把他打他，
In the past, when the mosquito stings him, he would slap him to death. But now it's different. When a mosquito is stinging him, he would say, "Okay, enjoy your meal."
宽容啊，要原谅蚊子，他们没地方找东西吃啊。
That's compassion.
现在当
You have to be sympathetic toward the mosquitoes. They have no
蚊
food.
子飞出来，哇，
It's not easy to be a mosquito these days, so they fly and fly.
终于看到，
Finally, they saw someone
哇，这个人，哦，这个胸部很大，
with big breasts,
停在
and the mosquito perched on her breasts and then suck in and died.
听得懂吗？
Huh? Do you understand?
因为全部都是里面 面都是
because it's all silicone inside.
因为是假的，蓬胸蓬出来，
Because it's
它是一吸的
it's
就死了。
so, and the mosquito dies. So it's not easy to be a mosquito these days because that's a breast enlargement.
这个笑话很好，我们学佛要这样子学。
This is a good one. We should learn like this as a Buddhist.
问你的抗压能力是
The master asks, so how did you deal with your stress? And the disciple replies, about forgetting.
你什么都忘掉，
If you forget everything,
哪里还会有什么？不必用抗压嘛，反正
then you don't need to deal with your stress. Whatever they say, whatever other people say, you've forgotten them all.
学佛要这样。
That's what we should be in our Buddhist practice. Just forget them all. Then you have no trouble whatsoever.
麻烦很大。
Otherwise, you'll be in big trouble.
你们每天唱，忘不了，忘不了，
Like the song that you sing every day, I can't forget.
那麻烦就大了。
Then you would be in big trouble. If you have forgotten it, then that would be fine. Om Mani Padme Hum.